Welcome to Criminal Library. If you believe in truth, justice, and giving a voice to the silenced, you are in the right place. Subscribe and join us. Together, we can speak for those who can no longer speak for themselves. Today, we are revisiting a case that demands to be heard. A loving mother and her 3-year-old daughter brutally murdered in their home, and to this day, no one has been held accountable. This is the story of Karitha and Jamaya Carroll. In Cary, Mississippi, a small town along Highway 61, where people wave at neighbors and children play under wide open skies. But on September 23, 2009, something happened here that tore through the peace like a storm. Inside a modest home, a mother and her 3-year-old daughter were found murdered brutally and mercilessly. A crime so vicious, so personal, it left this quiet town shaking. And even now, more than a decade later, their killer has never been brought to justice. Karitha Jenny Carroll was 31, a loving mother of 4. Just the night before her death, she was alive and full of joy, cheering on her son at a middle school football game. She was a proud and a present mom. By the next morning, Karitha and her daughter Jamaya were gone, and a town that once felt safe was forced to face a chilling truth. Someone out there had done this and gotten away with it. The next morning, concern turned to fear. Karitha hadn't shown up for work. She wasn't answering her phone, so her uncle, Tony Stamps, did what family does. He went to check on her. He walked up to her home on US Highway 61, unaware he was about to step into a nightmare. The door was unlocked, the house too quiet. Inside, the scene was beyond words. Karitha's body lay lifeless on the bedroom floor, bloodied, broken. Her chest and throat had been savagely attacked. Marks on her arms showed she fought back with everything she had. And just across the bed was Jamaya, only 3 years old. Her throat and tiny arms slashed. She never had a chance. This wasn't random. This wasn't burglary gone wrong. This was personal, violent, intentional. But before the home could be secured, others entered. Curious neighbors, distraught relatives. The crime scene was compromised, crucial evidence possibly lost forever. From the very beginning, the investigation was marred by missteps. There were no signs of forced entry. Detectives believed Katrina knew her killer, someone she trusted enough to let inside. But before investigators could fully examine the scene, people had already walked through it. Evidence was trampled and contaminated. And just when the family was looking for answers, came a shocking claim. Authorities floated a theory suggesting Karitha had killed her daughter and then herself. The community was outraged and disappointed. They flatly rejected it. The rules, the scene, the woman they knew, none of it made sense. This wasn't a murder-suicide. It was a double homicide, period. 3 years later, in 2012, came a flicker of justice. 3 names emerged: Sean Waller, Stephanie Ann Smith, and Josephine Warren, arrested after a jailhouse confession linked them to the murders. But then it all unraveled. 1 year later, Josephine Warren recanted her confession. There was no forensic evidence, no solid link tying any of them to the scene. The charges were dropped, and once again, the case went cold. Katrina's surviving children were left behind, not only without a mother, but without answers. No arrests, no convictions, just silence. But they never stopped asking questions. Her daughter still believes the killer may be someone close, someone the family once trusted, and that trust may have cost them everything. Private citizens came together, offering a 10,000 reward, but lists faded. And over time, the media moved on. The world moved on, but we haven't. Jamaya was only 3 years old. Karitha, a devoted mother of four, was just 31. They were not statistics. They were human and they were loved. They deserve more than a cold case file collecting dust. They deserve justice. If you know anything at all about the murders of Karitha and Jamaya Carroll, now is the time to speak. Please contact the Sharkey County Sheriff's Department at the number on the screen. Even the smallest detail could finally bring peace to a family still grieving and justice for two lives taken far too soon. This was not a suicide, this was murder, and silence protects a killer. This is Criminal Library. Don't forget to subscribe and never stop seeking the truth.